Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Elixir Real Talk out west. Today we fished in Madison. So this morning we woke up at about 5 a.m. Did a whole bunch of nothing. Well, I did a whole bunch of nothing till like 5:40. Then we got on the road. What do you think? 6, a little before 6.
6-ish.
Then
we had an hour and a half drive from Livingston to Ennis, Montana.
Yep.
Which, by the way, is a top 25 U.S. trout town.
So then we arrived. Well, just before we got to our meeting zone with our guide, we had to stop at the gas station, fuel up the RV. And I have to say, it was definitely, I had the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had from a gas station. Way better than Dunkin'.
Mine was good, too.
Yeah, I expected the bread to be soggy. Not soggy. And then met our guide that's about 5 minutes away. Goes by the name of Zach
Carlson.
Zach Carlson. Great guide.
Yeah, Zach is a guide I had used about a year ago for 5 days, and I liked him so much. We rebooked him for this trip.
Yep. Definitely friendly beginner. Not a problem for me with little to no experience fly fishing. My first ever drift boat trip.
We did meet his wife this morning. She's a Braves fan. So I gave her a Philly Fanatic stuffy, and she didn't seem to appreciate it. So we launched from Windy Point, launch on the Upper Madison, which was appropriate because we had wind gusts at around 25 today. And we fished from about 9 to 1. I caught a fish about 20 minutes in on a dry fly imitation of a salmon fly, which was really cool. Nothing was hatching, but they were coming up to eat when they saw the dry flies. And then Hunter caught one about 2 hours later. So by lunch at 1, we were wet, cold, and we had caught a total of 2 fish.
That one fish was my first ever fish. Caught in a drift boat, caught on the Madison. And then we stopped.
What kind of fish was it? Your first was a cutthroat.
Cutthroat.
And cutthroat are common here in Montana, but not common on the Madison. So that was kind of cool.
So when we stopped for lunch about 12:45, downpour. Our guide pulls over, get out of the boat, walk over to the bank, try to hide under a tree. So we're sitting there eating lunch, and it starts raining harder and harder. I'm like, these raindrops are starting to hurt a little bit. And then
the World Cup just visited us. The raindrops were hurting. And
so the raindrops were starting to hurt. And I was like, dang, there's some hard raindrops. And then I put my hand up like that, and the hail started falling. Probably about, they weren't huge.
no,
They were.
But they hurt.
Yeah.
As an aside, there was a lot of thunderstorms in the forecast for the day, and I asked the guide, what do you do in a thunderstorm? He said, well, there's really no place to hide, so we just pull over. So we decided not to tell Hunter's mother that. That's what our plan was.
So after our first 3 hours of fishing and only catching 2 fish, we had about 2 hours to go. We ended up catching 8 in the span of those 2 hours. And I completed what they might call the Madison River Grand Slam. In those 2 hours, I caught a brown, a rainbow, and a white fish. And I feel like the more fish I started to catch, the bigger they got. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Okay, so to catch the Madison River Grand Slam on his first fly fishing drift boat trip is really quite impressive. And he did say his fish were getting bigger, but I caught the biggest 4 fish.
Oh yeah, sure.
Except in one picture where we used ChatGPT to make Hunter's fish look bigger.
Which was his idea, by the way,
It
not
was.
mine.
Because he doesn't hold it right to make it look big.
So then, coming around this corner, we see a parking lot, and the fishing was doing all right still. We were getting a little nervous. We didn't want to be done quite yet. And then we're about to pull up to the parking lot, and I just missed a fish. Zach, our guide, goes, I got good news and bad news. Bad news, you just missed another fish. Good news, this isn't our lot.
It's true.
And then we caught the part of those 8 on the last final
What
stretch.
were Zach's best lines of the day?
So our guide, Zach, loved giving us some friendly banter. One of his top lines was some what was it again?
He asked if he had put hooks on the 2 streamers that he tied on our lines after we missed some fish.
Yeah, I didn't think we missed that many.
I mentioned that I fish with my nephew and he's a better fly fisherman than me, and he said, well, that's not much of an achievement.
And then so we pull the boat in, and we're sitting there. We don't really do much of any help, and then we're sitting in the car waiting for Zach. And I'm like, sitting back there, shouldn't we be helping him? And
I said, at least we didn't tell him to turn the car on and put the heat on for us.
yeah, so we're thinking that. And he also mentioned that Zach has his own system, likes to do things. And then maybe, 15 seconds after we had this conversation, he goes, oh, no, it's all right, guys, I got it. We did wipe his seat down.
Yes, we did.
Got very wet. But other than that,
So it was a good day. 10 fish on the Madison, all pretty good size. Hunter did the Madison Grand Slam, which is awesome because it's tough to catch a cutthroat, and when he needed a whitefish, he caught it right away.
Yep. Zach goes, "You're about to catch a whitefish here." 5 seconds later,
Whitefish.
reeling a whitefish. So that concludes the float trip we had today. Then we're riding back with Zach. He mentioned this barbecue place, which was jam-packed, so we had to go to some other place. Then we got there, and we mentioned yesterday how the Montana people are very nice, and you paid for one of his coffees. So today he's decided to pay it back.
Yeah, so the kid at the gas station told me I had to pay it forward, so I decided to do that tonight.
So he takes out a $5 bill, walks up to the hostess. We'll recreate this. Walks up to the hostess with a $5 bill, puts it in her hand, and goes. He doesn't even look at her. He just walks away. I'm standing there.
I said, thanks for the table. And she went.
He walks away, and she's looking at me with like.
But I paid for my coffee. So that was our day.
So that concludes the day. That brings an end to episode 2 of Elixir Real Talk. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for episode 3.
And hit like and subscribe on the bottom.